Hi, my name is Caroline Wise. I attend Columbus Technical College and my CRN number is 429. Here is my informal outline and my two audience members, Mindy and Shane. The breeding grounds for corruption lie in a culture where there seems to be very little or almost no punishment for it, and where the rewards of being corrupt seem much greater than the risk of being caught. Corruption is the misuse of public power for private profit and is an all too familiar occurrence in our world today. Two types of corruption exist. Corruption practiced on a small scale that involves relatively small amounts of money, which is referred to as petty corruption, and grand corruption, which is found where public officers in high positions such as judges, senators, and councilors in the process of making important decisions accept bribes or kickbacks for ensuring that tenders are awarded to specific people. Corruption can be found in the courtroom, classroom, or police station, and it seems as though our advancement in technology have created a lack of honesty in our society. Grand corruption and petty corruption are almost one and the same. They both cause lack of impairment of integrity or moral principle and a desire to do a wrong, a characteristic found in many of today's authority figures. Grand corruption, the most dangerous and covert type, occurs at financial, political, and administrative centers of power. It is a worldwide problem that can destroy nations and create economic turmoil. It is intertwined in government in just about every country and can seriously damage the quality of life of the ordinary citizen. It is astonishing how easily corruption can flourish in such a lawful environment, like a courtroom. Laws state that judges should never engage in business for profits, they should be barred from meeting parties in private and never accepting gifts. Even though judges are ordered not to do this, they bend the laws quite often. As well as CEOs of large corporations, they don't always play fair. Is it fair to hire your childhood friend to be vice president of your enterprise when other candidates are most of the time far more qualified and have a greater education than your friends? Even though most police conflicts are considered petty corruption, one exception has occurred. A recent case in Columbus, which began when a former Columbus sheriff got into a bar fight. He was the cause, and bystanders were trying to call the law, but the sheriff shot the telephone off the wall and allowed no one to call the police. No charges were filed against him. Would this happen to the ordinary citizen? Petty corruption can affect everything from how well our borders are being secured and neighborhoods protected to verdicts handed down in court to the qualities of our roads and schools. Petty corruption occurs when local, low-ranking government workers exchange money for services that should be free or accept bribes to perform small favors. Our democracy depends on a healthy, efficient, and ethical government, whether in the courtroom or halls of Congress. Even though petty corruption may sound minor, it can have a direct impact on national security. For example, in Arizona, 26 current and former DMV employees were indicted for taking cash bribes for fake driver's licenses, IDs, and fake hazmat licenses. Do you know the hazards of having a fake hazmat card? Usually, it causes death due to improper knowledge of hazardous chemicals that can be fatal upon inhalation. Petty corruption directly increases the cost of living for the poor who can't afford to pay bribes but are disempowered to do anything else. Corruption is an embarrassment to our society, whether it is a grand corruption, a senator taking monetary kickbacks from CEOs to have certain bill passed in the Senate, or petty corruption, a police officer taking free movie passes and restaurant gift cards to keep from issuing a speeding ticket. It shows how our society is losing values, morals, and honesty, leading to worldwide corruption. Corruption from petty to grand is an intolerable act that must be ended. But what makes this such a vicious cycle is the power people forever hold and use to encourage and create crime rather than deter it. I got my sources from www.anticorruption.com and www.libraryquest.org. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Yes, I do. What type of corruption is the most common?
Petty corruption is definitely the most common form.
Is petty corruption common in Columbus?
Yes, it's very common in Columbus, especially in the police stations around here.
And I have one more. Which type of corruption is the most dangerous?
Definitely grand corruption because it messes with our economic stability and it's very important. Thank you.